Hello viewers, welcome to our channel Career Prep. In this video, we'll learn about the concept and formulae on the topic probability. Probability is an important part of the quantitative aptitude section in competitive banking exams and government examinations like SBI PO, IBPS Clerk, SBI SO, IBPS RRB, IBPS PO, SBI Clerk, NABARD Grade A and B, RBI Grade A and B, and more. So it makes sense to understand the concept well. These questions are the ones where marks can be scored easily if practiced well. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to get notifications as soon as we post a new video. So let's start. Let's understand a little bit about the concept of probability. Probability means possibility. A probability is a number that reflects the chance or likelihood that a particular event will occur. There are many real life situations in which we may have to predict the outcome of an event. We may be sure or not sure of the results of an event. In such cases, we say that there is a probability of this event to occur or not occur. The probability of an event can be calculated by the probability formula by simply dividing the number of favorable outcomes by the total number of possible outcomes. So probability formula is probability is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. The value of the probability of an event happening can lie between 0 and 1. A probability of 0 indicates that there is no chance that a particular event will occur, whereas a probability of 1 indicates that an event is certain to occur. The value of the probability of an event happening cannot be more than 1 because the number of favorable outcomes can never be more than the total number of outcomes. Probability can also be expressed as percentages ranging from 0% to 100%. For example, if you say the probability is 30%, 35%, it means that there are 35 chances out of 100 of the event occurring. Let's now understand the definition of a few common terms used in probability. The following terms in probability help in better understanding of the concepts of probability. Experiment. An operation conducted to produce an outcome is called an experiment. For example, tossing a coin is an experiment. Rolling a dice is an experiment. Random experiment. An experiment in which all the possible outcomes are known and the exact outcome cannot be predicted in advance is called a random experiment. For example, when we toss a coin, we know that we would get a head or a tail, but we are not sure which one will appear. Event. The possible outcomes of a random experiment is called an event. For example, in tossing a coin, the possible outcomes, that is the events, are head and tail. Sample space. All the possible outcomes of an experiment together constitute a sample space. For example, when you toss a coin, you can either get a head or a tail. So the sample space of tossing a coin is head, tail. When two coins are tossed, then the possible outcomes are the first coin may be head, second coin also may be head. That is, both the coins may show head. The first coin might show head, second coin might be tail. Or the first coin might show tail and the second coin might show head, or both the coins might show tail. So if two coins are tossed, the sample space is head head, head tail, tail head, tail tail. So all the possible outcomes of an experiment together constitute the sample space. Favorable outcome. An event that has produced the desired result is called a favorable outcome. For example, when we roll two dice, the favorable outcomes of getting the sum of the numbers on the two dice as 4 are: if one dice shows 1 and the second dice shows 3, then the sum will be 4. Or both the dice can show 2, even then the sum would be 4. Or the first dice can show 3 and the second dice can show 1. Even then the sum would be 4. So when we roll two dice, the favorable outcomes of getting the sum of numbers on the two dice as 4 are 1 3, 2 2 or 3 1. Let's now look at the probability formula. Probability is the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes to the total number of outcomes. The probability formula can be expressed as probability is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Now, number of favorable outcomes can also be referred to as sample point. Total number of outcomes can also be referred to as sample space. So, we can write probability formula as probability is equal to sample point divided by sample space. Now, it's easier to uh, remember the probability formula as probability is equal to number of required outcomes divided by number of total possible outcomes while solving probability questions. So remember that the probability formula is probability is equal to number of required outcomes divided by number of total possible outcomes. Now let's understand the probability formula using an example. What is the probability of getting an even number on rolling a dice once? Now when you roll a dice once, the face can show one of these numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So sample space or possible outcomes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the required outcome here is getting an even number. Now out of these 6 numbers, even numbers are 2, 4 and 6. So the event or favorable outcomes or required outcomes is 2, 4, 6. Now as you can see here, the number of required outcomes is 3. The number of total possible outcomes is 6. Now putting this in the probability formula, we get P is equal to 3 divided by 6, which is nothing but 0.5. This means that the chances of getting an even number upon rolling a dice is 0.5. Remember these important results which might help you while solving probability questions. Supposing E is an event. If PE represents the probability of the event happening and PE dash represents the probability of the event not happening, then PE plus PE dash is always equal to 1. Now either an event will occur for sure, or the event may not occur at all, or there may be possibilities to different degrees that the event may occur. An event that occurs for sure is called a certain event and its probability is 1. An event that doesn't occur at all is called an impossible event and its probability is 0. Thus, the probability of happening of any event always lies between 0 and 1. This is depicted as 0 less than or equal to PE less than or equal to 1. Thus, the probability of an event occurring is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. Note these two words, and, or. In a question, when you find the word and, always multiply. In a question, when you find the word or, always add. Note these two words, at least, at most. In a question, the word at least means minimum to maximum. For example, at least 3 means a minimum of 3 to a maximum of any number. In a question, the word at most means maximum to minimum. For example, at most 3 means a maximum of 3 to a minimum of 0. Here are a few more important results that you have to remember. Now, probability can also be found by applying the knowledge of permutations and combinations. For example, a bag contains 6 white and 4 black balls. 2 balls are drawn at random from the bag. Find the probability that both the balls are white. Now we know that probability is equal to number of required outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. Now it's given that the bag contains 6 white and 4 black balls. So the total number of balls is 6 plus 4, that is 10. It's given that 2 balls are drawn at random from the bag. This means that out of the total number of 10 balls, 2 balls are picked at random. So total number of possible outcomes is the number of ways of picking 2 balls out of 10 balls. That is 10C2. Now we are asked to find the probability that both the balls are white. That is, the required outcome is that both the drawn balls are white balls. Now we know that there are 6 white balls in the bag. So the number of required outcomes is the number of ways of picking 2 white balls out of 6 white balls, which is nothing but 6C2. So now we know that the number of required outcomes is 6C2. Total number of possible outcomes is 10C2. Substituting these values in the formula here, we get the required probability is equal to 6C2 divided by 10C2. Now in the numerator, since 2 is the subscript, it means that um, it means that starting with 6 in the descending order, there has to be a multiplication of two numbers. So in the numerator, it will be 6 multiplied by 5. Let's look at the denominator now. In the denominator also, the subscript is 2. This means that starting with 10, in the descending order, there has to be a multiplication of two numbers. So in the denominator, we have 10 multiplied by 9. On simplifying this fraction, we get 1 by 3. So the required probability is 1 by 3. Hope you have understood this method of finding probability by using the knowledge of combinations. The different types of questions on probability asked in competitive exams are: Type 1, problems based on coins. Type 2, problems based on dice. Type 3, problems based on balls. Type 4, problems based on cards. Type 5, problems based on selection and rejection. Type 6, problems based on with replacement and without replacement. Viewers, please go through this video till you have understood the concept. Please do watch our video, Probability, Problems Based on Coins, Solved Problems. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.